Go ahead and we're recording?
We've been recording.
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Was It Good? Today we're talking episodes 6 and 7 of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. As always, I'm Ravi. I'm here with my two brothers, Christian and Arjuna, and Mr. Michael is in the producer's chair. I will also attempt to pitch a new Paramount Plus movie, Infinite, to Christian and Arjuna who have not yet seen it. There's also a little news, but before we start, I have a public service announcement. Good soldiers follow orders.
Well, that is quite the announcement.
Well, I mean, that doesn't seem like a really good PSA.
Yeah, I don't know.
Christian wrote this. So.
Well, you
Oh,
said
so you
it.
just
Yeah,
you clearly do follow orders.
Yes.
You just
What
reading the word.
There you go.
What are you, a puppet?
No, I'm a person.
Could have fooled me.
But, you know, it is quite possible that we're in a simulation or a computer game and somebody is controlling me. And therefore, yes, I guess I am kind of like a
If
puppet.
you are in a computer game, what level do you think you're at?
I'd like to think that I'm permanently stuck at level 69.
Doubtful.
Where else would I be?
Level 8.
That makes more sense, actually. Anyway, Star Wars: The Bad Batch, episodes 6 and 7 specifically.
A double whammy.
A double whammy.
Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Basically.
Oh yeah, if
kinda.
you're lining up the season so far with the movies, then yes. But well, if we're just doing initial impressions, they went some places that are quite familiar.
They did. They went to some planet shit.
Yes.
Or planets and shit. Or shit planets.
They went to shit planets?
Plant shit.
They went to did they go to a desert planet? One of the 800
Desert planets. But you know they've proven that most world would be like desert dead. Like most planets in the universe.
Well, it's also a fictional universe, so they could do whatever they wanted.
Again, we're in a simulation, so
It's all made up.
this could be all made up.
Could be.
Ones and zeros.
Yeah, it could be.
But the two planets, right?
Yes, the two planets that they went to, specifically Corellia in episode 6 and then Braca in episode 7. Now, Corellia, where do we know Corellia from?
Han Solo's home planet, correct?
Correct.
Also,
And
where they
Solo.
build ships, show like shipyards. I believe.
It's a shipyard as well. Not as important as, like, I want to say Kuwait, but it starts with a K. It sounds kind of like Kuwait, but that's the biggest imperial shipyard in Star Wars.
Wow, you know.
But then the one that I found super, super interesting was in episode 7 when they meet up with Rex. So obviously the big part of episode 7 was, you know, the potential of killing off a character. And then also meeting up with Rex because they need to get the thingamajiggies removed from their
chips
heads.
out of their heads.
Chips out of the head.
Yep.
And Rex, in order to do that, needs a med bay, but you can only find that type of med bay needed on Venture Jedi class starships. So the ship that they go to is on a planet called Braca,
Right.
which we first see
In a video game.
in a video game, Jedi Fallen Order.
Right.
And what's crazier is the ship that they actually enter is the ship that the main character Cal and his master
Popular guy.
was on before, you know, it ultimately crashed. So there are actually scenes in the episode that you actually play as young Cal in that entire setup.
Interesting. Do you think we're going to see Cal in Bad Batch?
But well, maybe. I mean, Cal's as a kid. So what's crazy with
Jedi.
the thing with like Jedi
Caleb?
Fallen Order is the beginning, like the true beginning of that game is just where Bad Batch starts, where Order 66 has been given, which is crazy. Like the connections that they're now like making is awesome.
Yeah,
Especially with the video games as well.
Yeah, and they've made a couple now, right? So obviously we had Caleb, aka Kanan, in the first episode of Bad Batch, and now we have Cal, right? So do you think this is intentional? Do you think are they doing this for a reason, or are we going to see some kind of crazy like team up, or is this just I hate to use the term, but fan service? Does it feel a little fan service?
Well, I would say the whole show
Is
so
fan
far
service.
through 7 episodes has used a lot of familiar events in
Yeah.
supplementary works within Star Wars, right? You've seen multiple characters from future shows, Star Wars Rebels, Mandalorian, Now you even had the two sisters in this one from season 7 of.
We were
Clone
going to bring
Wars.
that up.
Trace and Rafa, I believe I heard their names.
Yeah.
Martez. You have what's his name from
Cal.
You have Cal, who was actually a popular theory as the Jedi who's going to show up at the end of Mandalorian season 2. A lot of people thought it was going to be Cal, and people were disappointed when it wasn't because they're like, "Oh, it's CGI monster Luke Skywalker."
It's just boring. Oh, Luke. Some nobody named Luke.
So I would say almost every character the batch has run into has some type of like pretty significant connection, or is a recognizable character, recognizable place, and I think it's cool. I don't think it's been overbearing in this show, but I do wonder at some point does it become a crutch where it's like everything is connected.
I don't think it's a big
Mephisto.
fuck off. I don't think that's a big issue because again, we know that information because we've played the game, but that information and that knowledge is not important to the events of what happened in that episode, right? The episode's pretty straightforward, right? Go to a planet, use the med bay, get the chips out of the head. So I don't foresee it being a crutch. I think maybe what you'll end up seeing is some fans will be like, oh, cool, another tie-in, woohoo. But at the same time, it makes sense, right? All of these people are heavily involved in this big event, which is, the fall of the Jedi Order and then the rise of the Resistance and then the downfall eventually of the Empire. So, of course, there's going to be some crossovers. Like, again, Saw Gerrera we've seen. Rex is very obviously clearly working with Ahsoka and maybe some other folks. There's even the line at the very end where it's like, your squad could be really, really helpful. So most likely we're going to see the Bad Batch team up with some kind of Rebel Alliance or whatever, which, cool. Maybe Lucasfilm will go back, digitally redo Rogue One, and you'll see like Wrecker just walking in the background.
But it's also weird because we've obviously seen Rebels, and the Batch isn't in Rebels at all.
Again, but it's a different part of the universe or galaxy.
True, but there's just only so much retconning you can do before it starts to not make sense. I think we had the joke a couple episodes ago. Is like, remember when Luke Skywalker was legitimately the last Jedi alive? But actually, it turns out there were like 20 other really powerful Jedi running around, just being like,
woo! How many Jedi are there at this point? Can we go through and count real quick?
Like
that we know who are alive.
Yeah, so during the Bad Batch time period,
Let's
right?
do it.
So Luke and Leia are alive. They're obviously infants, but they are still, quote, Jedi, right? Soon to be. We know there's Cal from the Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
We know there is Yoda on his Dagobah.
Obi-Wan.
We know that Obi-Wan Kenobi's on Tatooine.
Caleb.
We know that Ahsoka is running around. We know Caleb is running around. Who else is there?
That might be it.
At this point.
You're 13 short of 20.
Ezra is still alive.
Ezra's still around.
Well, actually, he's a kid.
He's a kid.
He's
not.
not.
Has he been born?
He's not a Jedi yet, though, is he?
He was born like just before.
But he's not a Jedi though.
He's not a Jedi.
And neither is Luke or Leia. Like I know they're
So then technically
they're Force
five.
sensitive.
Then
Five of
Jedi.
3 younglings.
Well then,
But then what about like we know
Palpy?
that other
Papa Palpatine.
he's not a Jedi.
Yeah, but he is.
Force sensitive.
wasn't there a whole storyline of Vader hunting down Force users and trying to corrupt them?
The acolytes.
Yeah.
All of his the Inquisitors. And
they're all fallen Jedi.
There's all of those people running.
Well, there's
around.
like 8 or 9 of them.
Something like that.
By the end of Fallen Order, the game, because you kill, I think, 2 of them. The 7th sister and the 5th sister and I don't know, the 10th brother.
The short answer is
The second
there
cousin.
are a lot of Force users running around.
Which makes sense though, right?
Which means Order 66 kind of a
fail.
failure.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't so. I could be wrong. Wasn't there like 10,000 Jedi?
Yes, there was.
And so if there's only, let's say, even if you round it up to 30, there's still like a.
It's a good percentile success rate.
But I will
it's
say
like
this.
almost
If there are
perfect.
10,000 Jedi,
Yeah.
Work.
the
10,000
prequel
Jedi.
trilogy does an awful job establishing there are that many Jedi. Because as a
Why?
child who watched those, I was like, yeah, there are about 30 Jedi.
But they say it though. I think Qui-Gon has a line in there somewhere where he's like, "There are 10,000." Like, I didn't just pull that out. I heard it.
No,
somewhere.
I know. But as a child, someone who had
I
a
see.
7-year-old brain at the time,
Yeah.
it's a show, don't tell type of thing.
Mm.
You know, show me the Jedi.
Oh, you want to see like a calendar with all their birthdays on it.
Oh, Darth Jar Jar still running around.
He's not a Jedi.
Oh,
not
Mace
Jedi.
Remember everyone's Mace Windu is alive theory? And,
Wait, what?
And was Snoke?
Get out.
He's alive?
Well, Snoke is
Snoke is alive?
Snoke's a clone though.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about pre-episode 7.
7. Yeah.
All the theories are flying around.
So, a couple of things happened in this episode. Before I watched episode 7, I want to talk that real quick. Before I watched episode 7, it started a leak or something came out on the Twitter sphere where people were saying that Wrecker was donezo, that this was the end of Wrecker. So I kind of went into the episode thinking that was the case. And guess what? We got very, very close to...
I don't think it was that close.
I thought it was going to I thought Omega was going to end up shooting Wrecker.
Wow.
Like, I legitimately thought that.
Wait, you actually thought they would go that far?
I thought it was going to get that dark. I was like...
When I watched the episode, it never felt like he was in that precarious of a situation.
I felt like it was going to happen, and I was both kind of... I was like, yes, this is cool, because, like, that's dark, and it feels kind of, true, and it would also... If it happened, like, if Wrecker actually, got wrecked.
Got wrecked?
If that actually happened, then it would make, it would be interesting for the remaining Bad Batch crew, right? Where it's like this thing is really a
one season
destructive
show.
But it would be a
Because they're
little
all
duplicitous of like them kind of losing Crosshair as well.
Well,
Had
but
that arc
Crosshair they haven't, necessarily lost. He's
Yeah.
doing his own thing, and
It does seem pretty.
we know
far
he's going to
gone.
potentially
He's not.
come back. Who knows?
I think he's gonna die.
I still think Christian had said it. What, Hunter is going to kill him?
Wait, did I say that?
I think somebody
our
is
bold predictions.
Yeah, one of the bold
Wow.
predictions, like Hunter is
We'll
going to
revisit at the end of the season. I'm sure.
Wow, that's dark.
If there is an end of the season.
I will say that that was like that was half a second, literally, where I thought, oh, they actually are going to not kill Wrecker, but make him join Crosshair, and it's going to be Bad Batch Civil War. Right? I'm like, this is what the Bad Batch is. This is a
Civil
batch of
War
soldiers
Disney's
who totally break apart, and you're going to see brother on brother, right? And I'm like, wow, this would be a crazy fucking show if that's the way they go.
It's just-
they didn't quite get there, obviously. In fact, they totally got rid of the chips. I actually thought the chips was going to be a much larger part
Yeah.
of the show, and now
Yeah.
that they've already
I still
gotten
think
rid
it
of
is.
them.
And here's
With
why.
Crosshair?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big thing with Crosshair. I think I mentioned this before, but I think there's going to be something at the end of the season where now that they know how to take out the chip and that it is deadly and they've seen it firsthand with specifically Wrecker and what it can do, we're going to attempt to try and take it out of Crosshair at some point. And when they do, we're like,
gonna
oh,
go
he's going to
bad.
be good,
And he won't
but
be.
he won't be because good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah, so that's not the chip. That's you're thinking.
It's him.
It's his actual who he is.
I think Star Wars always likes to play with some of these deeper themes of like fate versus choice and all that type of stuff, and chosen ones and legacies and stuff. And I think they're going to play out this theme of, specifically with the clones, like, is it choice or is it what they're forced to do? And I think Crosshair will show the opposite end of the spectrum of like, no, I choose to be this way. I choose to live within this order. Because I think that's realistic in terms of just showing like there's a reason this empire succeeded, like came into be and to succeeded because people truly did believe in that. And it's
Right.
like Star Wars has done a great job obviously showing all the people that oppose the empire, but they haven't necessarily shown a lot of people that like were like, yeah, the empire is good, because clearly there's a lot of people that thought the empire were good.
Yeah. Well, I think Mandalorian's done especially in season 2
Yeah.
with the Bill Burr episode when they're talking to his old commanding officer,
Right.
and this man is he's salivating at the fact that like he works for the Empire and the Empire's coming back, and like
Right.
he really likes his job. That guy loves his job like way
that guy?
too much.
That guy. Fucks.
But speaking real quick with the chips, one of the things I was a little surprised at, I thought we were gonna see either it was gonna be left like open ended or it was gonna be like, oh, this is a legit thing, but Omega and a chip.
Yes.
I was kind of surprised that there was no chip in there, to be honest, because Omega is still a clone, maybe somehow related to the Jango Fett line, maybe not, maybe a defect, but even if the Bad Batch were defects or whatever, or
Right.
adjusted clones, they still had the chips in there.
But I wonder if it's because she was never meant to be in the field,
Right.
right?
Right. She was clearly, I feel like, for lack of a better word, designed to do something else, which is why the Camino group won her back.
The Camino group.
The Camino.
The Kaminoans.
The Camino and Co. won her back, right? She has some kind of significance that is unrelated, or it's related, but it's not. It's definitely not the same as the Bad Batch's tactical prowess. It's a different thing.
Yeah, I think her whole bit is
The Force.
empathy.
Well, you had an interesting theory where you was like, what if she's an infiltrator?
Yeah, I
And
still kind of think
that could still be in play, honestly.
Then she would need some kind of chip, then, right?
Maybe she has a different chip. Maybe it's like in her arm.
But again, maybe she's been created to infiltrate. Again, that infiltration bit especially now, feels kind of, well, what's the point?
You never know.
Just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I thought that was interesting.
Did you also think the sisters were interesting?
No. So as soon as I saw that, I did let out a massive groan.
Like,
or what is it? The GTA, was it San Andreas?
Oh shit! Here we go again.
Yep.
Oh,
That's what I
shit, here we
felt.
go
I was
again.
like, ah, shit.
It wasn't as bad as
No,
last
not at
time,
all,
because
not
it was
at all.
only one episode.
Yeah.
Not 4 or 3 or 4, whatever.
It honestly kind of reminds me of Hondo. So I remember the first time I saw Hondo in Clone Wars, I'm like, this character's stupid.
Hondo. Oh.
But after you saw him a few more times when he wasn't the lead of an episode,
Yeah, he was
where he was
much
just
better.
kind of this character of his recurring bit, and he fit a very certain purpose. It worked a lot better, and like I ended up loving Hondo. Like he was great in Clone Wars, he's great in Rebels, and I'm sure he's gonna show up in Bad Batch because he's freaking Hondo. He's everywhere.
He's also in Batu at Galaxy Edge.
Exactly.
At the Millennium Falcon ride.
He's on the
Oh, is
Falcon
he?
ride.
Yeah, there's like giant like animatronics of
Yeah.
him moving around and doing this thing.
Well, he's the one that's talking to you through the whole
Yeah.
thing. He's
Yeah.
like you're working for him.
You're working for him.
So he's definitely going to be back.
Hondo.
And maybe this is how these sisters work. Like maybe that would be more interesting instead of a whole 4-episode arc dedicated to them attempting to escape a prison and failing, and it continuing on and on and on and on and on.
So again, the sisters kind of help bridge the gap between characters. So much like their arc in the last season of Clone Wars, where it was kind of the bridge between Ahsoka meeting up with, oh my god,
The Mandalorian.
with what's her name? Oh my god.
Katie Sackhoff's character.
Yeah.
Why can't I?
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, thank you. That was a big brain fart on my part.
Yes.
So just like they kind of link there, at the end of episode 6, we see the sisters talking to some hologram. Christian at first thought,
Can Christian go run through his
yeah.
whole
What did
thing?
you think
It
when you
was
first
amazing.
saw that? What did you
Break
think
down
it
the
was?
whole thing. You had a whole
Oh
breakdown.
yeah. So we rewatched it with you.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Um,
And you had a crazy theory.
So it wasn't a theory. I just thought that the way they were doing it. I believe Trace is the more sympathetic sister. She's the one who wants to help people, and Rafa is the more like tough, real world. Like we only need to look out for ourselves.
Right.
And they're flying the ship, and behind them, right in front of the camera, comes up a hologram of this cloaked figure, and the cloaked figure completely covered Trace. So I was like, oh look, the hologram is completely covering the sympathetic
side.
character, the good side of the sister, and only Rafa was talking to her. I was like, oh, that means it's got to be Darth Maul.
I mean,
quite a
honestly,
jump. It was
well,
quite a
honestly,
jump.
No,
Yeah.
honestly though, like it's like I kind of wish you had directed the episode because
For symbolism, it was like very on point.
you had like the symbolism nailed down. Now they obviously didn't think of it anyway near that level of detail.
Yeah.
But like that level of detail would have been actually.
Yeah, because it's obviously it's Rex that they're talking to, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, I thought, and to me at that point, and also I had a few, so I was like, oh yeah, no, this is totally what they're doing, obviously. Like, oh, the symbolism, the art design, Dave Filoni, you genius. Nah, it wasn't that.
You son of a bitch! You've done it again.
So speaking, so obviously it would have been really cool if that was Darth Maul. Like let's be honest here. I love me a good Darth Maul. When
of course.
when they first reintroduced him in the Clone Wars series,
Oh man.
totally for that. Like that was amazing. Did a great thing. Beyond Darth Maul showing up, which with the Bad Batch, very possible because he is definitely alive and well in this corrupt, chaotic world. We've seen Captain
They
Rex
could do a job for him. Who knows? Because they're mercenaries right
Yeah.
now, working for Sid.
but
Beyond
beyond
is a morally gray
Yeah, I don't know what
we
Jedi
don't
she
know.
worked for, but
Yeah, it was
but
probably
beyond
a Sith.
beyond Darth Maul though, who else would you want to like see show up? It doesn't have to be from just the
Bane.
animated. It could also be from live action
Cad Bane.
stuff.
Boba.
Boba.
I want Boba,
Boba,
to show
Boba for
up.
sure.
Well, you want Boba and Omega to fight.
Yeah, I do, and that still needs to happen. But I
And
think
Omega will show up in Book of Boba Fett.
You think so?
I mean, she could. Remember, if she's a kid here, she would be,
that's right. Remember,
she'd be an adult.
We mentioned that.
If she survives.
Well, actually, Tamara, the actor who plays Boba, and Django mentioned, I think, this last week that there will be a lot of flashbacks in Book of Boba Fett, catching you up on
Boba's life.
what he's been up to in between Episode 6 and The Mandalorian, and maybe even some more flashbacks too. So, who knows?
It's just, you know what it's going to be? Flashbacks of him on a farm.
flashbacks of him in the Sarlacc, just
Yeah, in the
slowly
Sarlacc, yeah.
digesting.
like he makes like a fire in the somehow the pit. And he's just eating.
You know, I would
Grubs.
prefer Omega not to show up in Book of Boba because if the show's probably going to continue, I would assume for a couple seasons, like 1 or 2, whatever.
No,
Book of
we don't
Boba?
know.
No, Bad
Bad
Batch.
Batch, yeah,
But if Omega shows up in Book of Boba, it kind of ruins her
Yeah.
storyline because then you're like,
Sure.
well, cool. There's no real consequence for her because
You know
we know she survives all the way up to that point.
Unless she separates from the Bad Batch at the end of the first season.
Or what if she shows up and she's just very different, and so you still want to watch. To see
She's
how she
very
changes?
different. She's a completely different character. Yeah. I like that
Yeah,
idea.
her
yeah,
hair's
yeah.
green.
Yeah. No. The character's name
She's-
is
She's 2 feet
Alpha.
tall. She's 2 feet tall.
It's a robot with a UFO
and she
head.
talks like this.
So no, I don't think Omega can leave the Bad Batch because, as Jordyin
She
has
is the Bad
put here in the outline, you know, she's her growth has not only, you know, when we talk about a character's growth, it's like they change over time, et cetera, et cetera. She has changed a little bit, but the biggest thing is she's basically gathering armor.
Right. She has her bow and arrow,
Yeah.
which she learned how to use in these episodes.
Yeah.
She also has like armor design figured out.
It's true.
So I don't think she can leave the Bad Batch because now she has armor like them, and Hunter said so.
Yeah,
And good soldiers follow orders.
Exactly.
it's kind of cool though.
Kind
See-
of fucked up that Hunter's trying to make this kid a soldier. It's child soldier.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, the clones are basically children themselves.
Yeah, they're 5.
But their
whatever.
situation demands it. They're on the run. She needs to learn how to protect herself.
It's
So
true.
It's not like Hunter has a huge amount of choice to, you know, like she cannot have a normal childhood. She can't play with Pokemon cards. Okay, she's gonna have to learn.
Well,
how
they're
to
sold
deal
out,
with this.
Krishna, so she couldn't play with them anyway.
Wait, what? Hondo sold out of them, didn't he?
Probably. He probably bought them all up.
Hondo.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Do you think they had COVID in the Star Wars universe?
Yes.
That's something different.
What was it called?
Palpatine.
That Sarlacc breath.
Order 66.
But only certain people caught it.
Oh,
The rest
dear.
were vaccinated.
Marshall, no. What if there was a Jedi named Marshall on his dad?
But
was
it's like a rat. It's
"Marshall,
like a rat species.
No, no Marshall.
So this show has how many episodes?
16.
Oh, for the love of God, we're not done yet.
We're only halfway.
We're getting
Want it to
there.
be done?
I mean,
Wow, Ravi is impatient for the
it's
end.
not that I'm impatient. Like this, like episode 6, cool. Episode 7, cool. But it's like
It's too slow for you.
it's very slow. Like I get that it's 16 episodes. We got to fill it out. We want to
This
build
would be a
these
much better
characters.
binge.
Yeah, definitely probably be better binge. But like the week over week and like not a lot of stuff to me feels like it's happening. Granted, I'm coming off of my high of Clone Wars where it's like a lot of shit was happening because
yeah,
there's
like
a
the-
lot of stuff to wrap
Like
up.
the arc with the sisters.
Yeah, that was my favorite piece of Clone Wars.
A lot
content
happened
ever.
in those 4 weeks. A lot.
Yeah, it was every week. Guys, is it over yet?
yeah, that was painful.
It was
I
really
remember-
good.
I remember the 3rd episode of that arc, and we were like, "Oh, is it done?" Oh, nope. There's one more.
I think
Cool.
episode 3 was literally started with them in jail,
Yeah,
trying to get out, and ended with them in jail.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
completely pointless, and you could have removed the entire episode.
Which is why
You
it was
could
so
have done everything in the first 5 minutes of the first episode, and then the last 5 minutes.
You could have done
And
it in.
about
that-
You could have
last
done it. You
episode.
could have done it in one episode, one slightly longer episode, like a 35-minute episode.
And then they could have done something with like Ventress. That would have been cool. But
Ooh.
oh
The
well.
Ventress arc that they
Yeah.
are intended to do. There's some cool arcs that they just never did.
Well, money. companies being bought. Anywho, guys, it's that time. I will go ahead and start.
Wow. Shocker.
Krajuna.
Who's Krajuna?
It is when you guys go fusion.
All
Ha!
right, Joe, we answer together then.
Do the dance. Do it. Go ahead.
Fusion. I forget how to do it.
Anyway, Krishna. No kidding. Arjuna. Actually, let's go back to Krishna. Krishna, was episode 6 and 7 of Star Wars: The Bad Batch good?
They were good. The art design was great, even though, I thought it meant more than it did. I thought that I was reading way more, too much into it. That being said, the fact that, they set up shots where it lends itself to kind of theories like that or, like ideas, I think is really cool. Enough happened for me that I was satisfied. I think the whole episode with Wrecker,
I am Rekka.
really strong because there was a chance there for that to be an emotionally devastating.
Would you have cried?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
And it's about time we had an episode that wasn't just about Omega and Hunter,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we need more Echo and we need more Tech.
Which we're going to get, I'm sure.
Tick. Hey, Tick.
But yeah, it was good. Juno, was episode 6 and 7 of The Bad Batch good?
Yes, not the best. Not the best that we've seen of the show yet. But it was still good, still enjoyable, still important, I think, for the overall arc and the overall story they're telling. And, I think it was good.
Yeah. You just petered out right there. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Could be.
I'm
could be.
Rekka. Cool. I'm from Bill Rekka.
Ravi.
Yes.
Was episode 6 and 7 of The Bad Batch, Omega gets more armor, good.
Can I say no for 6 and yes for 7?
Nope, it's a collective.
It's a package.
That's why we put it
Damn.
together.
That's
Package
why he
deal.
did it. That's why he did
Then
it.
I'm gonna have to say no. And this
Shocker.
isn't controversial, but like
It is.
the sisters, they are very, very annoying, and it's so I don't understand why they're there and what they do, and I don't know. Is it merchandise? Is there toys? Is something? I don't get it.
I think it's just, you needed characters that fit a bill
Yeah.
for that. And instead of creating new characters, they just put characters that fans might be familiar with and would make sense for them to be around at that time and in that space.
Yeah.
I think Dave Filoni actually does have a plan for them. That's why they're here.
I'm
Which is
curious
sca- which
to
is
see.
scary. It's
I'm
a scary
curious to
thought.
see
But
what
maybe
it
it's a
is.
good plan. I mean, look,
Maybe.
Ahsoka was a horrible character when she first started.
No,
in the
definitely,
Clone Wars,
definitely,
Right? She
yeah.
was an annoying little kid, but you needed that
Yeah.
to have her progress and become a really great character.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So if they get
it's
their
the
own
same thing.
spin-off, you're watching it?
I'll give it a shot for sure.
I will
Just
wait.
like I gave Resistance a shot.
I will wait for your review.
Thank
of
you for
that.
biting the bullet on
Yeah,
that
thank
one.
you for that one. Did you ever finish it?
No, it's taken me like a year to get through 10 episodes.
Wow.
So it's really not that good?
It's just like a Saturday morning cartoon, honestly. It's like watching Yu-Gi-Oh! On
Wait.
Saturday
Yu-Gi-Oh is
mornings.
art.
Didn't you guys love Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
was great.
So then there is a difference then.
Yeah, it's just not.
You loved Yu-Gi-Oh.
You can take 3 months off and watch it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Mm.
It's just it's very much made for children. Like,
Reading one of the comments
very
here
much
real quick says we obviously live stream our podcast every Monday and Friday on youtube.com/wasitgood. One of our comments here from the episode, best line of the episode was, "Is there an echo in here?"
That's right, making fun
Which
of
was
Echo.
which was good because he then pops up and says, "Hi, yes, I'm here."
There you go. That's something good from the sisters.
Wow.
that
So,
was-
you,
that
so you
was-
didn't like that?
that
'Cause you
was
said
their-
no.
that was their
I mean, it was
line.
funny. It was funny, but
There you go. Redeemed.
echo was the reason it was funny.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Anywho, let's move on to our new segment where we realize that the three of us don't all like the same things, and it can be a little bit difficult to get all three of us to watch, a new movie in a timely fashion.
Ravi.
So what we're gonna try
Or
here, show. What we're gonna try here is, I went out on my own and used my hard-earned time.
Hard-earned time?
To I know, am I a criminal?
Do you earn time?
Am I in jail?
My
Life
earned
jail.
time.
So I used my earned time to watch Paramount Plus's new movie Infinite, starring Chitwell. I don't know how to say it.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how to say that. And then Mark Wahlberg, and
Marky
then a bunch of other people. So I'm going to pitch this movie, like an elevator style pitch, to Christian. It's going to be spoiler free. to Krishna and Arjuna
You have 69 seconds.
in hopes that it will convince them to watch the movie. So this is my, uninterrupted 69-second pitch to watch the Paramount Plus Infinite starring Mark Wahlberg. I'm ready when the time starts.
Michael, do you have a timer?
I can make one happen.
I have
no,
one.
we've
I have
got-
one on
we've
my
got-
watch.
right. You go. Ready?
Point at me when you're ready for me to cut his mic.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Infinite, starring Mark Wahlberg, is a movie that takes place in a not-too-distant future, which deals with the idea of multiple lives and timelines. It has a lot of action, fast-paced action. Pacing is something to maybe enjoy if you want to, pay attention in spurts. In spurts? Yeah. Spurts is a word, right? No? Maybe? This is very difficult. Anyway, did I say there was a lot of action in this movie? And there's 2 girls fighting at one point. That's cool. That's something that happens. They travel. There's a lot of travel. A lot of exotic locations. There's a Lamborghini who has the weird door things that open different way. Mark Wahlberg.
9 more seconds.
Mark Wahlberg is shirtless for 15 minutes. Oh, Jason Sudeikis. What's his name?
You're done.
He's
done.
So
He's done.
I feel nothing. I'm not saying it.
Damn.
I will say this. I was actually going to watch this movie after hearing your pitch.
About what you enjoyed about it?
I think I'm good.
Shirtless for 15 minutes?
I think I'm good. I think I'm gonna bet.
2 girls
It's gonna be a
fighting?
no.
Pacing, watching it in spurts, if that's your thing. Your first line was strong. Okay, multiple lives and time travel or
Yes.
whatever. That was great. You had me right there.
Yep.
Everything you said after that,
Yep.
you tanked.
And I hate to say it, but that's not my fault. So
Wow.
I will leave it at that.
Wow.
But that has been my 69-second elevator pitch for Krishna Arjuna on Paramount Plus's Infinite movie.
What a great idea, though.
It's a great idea because
This
it's
is
very difficult.
The pitch? Yeah, I mean, we can all try it at some point.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll do next week.
You saw In the Heights, right?
I did.
You should. Do you want to give us a quick pitch?
Oh, right
We
now?
get some time here. Let's hear Arjuna's 69-second spoiler-free
shit.
pitch for In the Heights.
hang
And
on.
remember,
I'll do the timer.
and remember, I fucking hate musicals, so
Yeah.
I'm very biased.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
I'm so excited.
And Juna, are you ready?
Yes.
When I say go, go.
Enter a world that you've never seen before. Join multiple people who you probably don't know in New York. Yes, New York, where there are lots of colors and people singing. Also starring Jimmy Smits, known as Bail Organa. He's around and he's very masculine. And he's a patriarch. And he's like, yes, I am the man. And Corey Hawkins, who was in the 24 show that was succeeded the old 24 show. And yes, there's some singing and dancing in this movie, but there's also great sound design. Yes. That's all I have.
Wow, you didn't even need the full 69 seconds.
And I end my
I
turn.
get the feeling this is harder than it seems.
It's very, very difficult.
Well, I wasn't even prepared
Yeah.
for this.
So,
Oh, man.
this is what I picked up on the movie. Bail Organa is in it.
Yep.
There's.
Well, I was also trying to sell it to you two.
There's singing, and there's color, and New York City.
Yes. It's New York City. There's a lot of color. It's actually really cool.
You didn't tell
visually.
us anything about the story. Yeah.
Well, I figured you guys don't care because it's musical.
Oh, that's
so I
true.
felt like if I actually told you the story, it would have hurt my case.
All right.
So I
Oh,
actually
interesting.
I stayed
That's
away
fair.
from the story and the music because the story of it is it's just
No, don't tell me, because now I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of intrigued. I didn't realize Bail Organa was in it.
It's true.
But now I'm going to go into it thinking like, oh my God, Star Wars.
Yeah, he plays Bale too.
Oh, well, I think I might be sold. Now, you're not
I was
lying,
never-
are you?
I mean, what is a lie?
Oh my
But just the truth
Oh my God.
repackaged
Oh
into
my
more truth.
Anywho, that's our quick pitches right there. Christian will be doing one the next time we gather.
For that basketball anime.
Yeah, for that basketball anime. But let's jump into some Was It news. We haven't done this in a while. And let's start off with the best piece of news, which is Greenland 2 is coming. And I would like to first I'd like to start by saying, how the fuck?
Yes, that is the only question.
Well, it should be called Iceland, right?
At this point, I don't know. All right, so
that's what they should call a sequel.
just for this, just for anyone
Spoilers.
wondering, I say we have a tradition as family when Gerard Butler makes a movie, you make sure you watch that movie because he's a genius.
Yeah.
At tricking people into giving him lots of money.
You should see a Gerard Butler movie directed by Ryan Johnson.
What is that?
Ryan Johnson,
Yeah.
your favorite director,
Right.
The Last Jedi.
Does it exist?
Right. Does it exist?
No, I'm sure. I'm saying if the
Oh,
movie came
oh,
out,
I thought
that would be
there
your
were- yeah.
greatest. That would be your greatest
Yeah. No.
thing.
So anyway, Greenland 2 is Greenland's about, asteroids destroying the Earth and a select few people being saved. So what's the sequel about?
I don't know, but the original cast is coming back. Gerard Butler's coming back.
Well, it's about two. It could be one of two things, right? There's
Rebuild?
only two ways it can go. It's them surviving in this post-apocalyptic type of environment, and they face new challenges like dinosaurs, maybe, or just the terrors of it, or
They have to make the land green.
or the asteroids aren't done with them yet. Dude, they want
They're coming back.
Oh my God, they're slingshotted. They're coming back.
Wait, what is it? Is it from Community? Oh my God, the fire shooting at? Oh no, it's from The Office. The fire shooting at us. What is it? The asteroids are gonna come back around and shoot them?
Yeah.
They have guns now.
Yes, the asteroid.
No, if I had to guess, it's going to be like, you guys remember Independence Day 2, how that was set up, where it's like we beat the aliens, our technology's better, and we got all this cool stuff. My theory would be Greenland 2 is like
Time jump?
10, 15 years in the future. They've rebuilt. They've got laser beams everywhere. And then the bigger asteroids come.
Oh man.
The asteroids are going to throw asteroids at them. And that's Greenland 2.
Oh, maybe they find out that the asteroids are actually missiles sent by an intergalactic civilization to destroy.
Yes, the Russia.
What if Greenland 2 is like a completely different genre movie? Like it's a rom-com. it's Gerard Butler and his wife. Remember they had problems?
Yeah, they're rekindling their love.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's them trying to make it work in this new apocalypse.
Yeah, wasn't he a
world.
dick? Like he cheated,
He cheated
on his
on his
wife?
wife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
Wait,
ass.
what was that rom-com with Gerard Butler? Is it 51st Dates or no? It wasn't.
She's not that into you? No.
Where he was like some kind of like love doctor. Wasn't Hitch, obviously, because that's Will Smith. But
He's been in a couple.
yeah. It'd be like one of those rom-coms meets Greenland.
I mean, let's be honest, guys.
I'd watch
We're
that.
going to end up seeing this
Of
regardless
course.
of what the hell it is.
Of course.
We should become like hardcore Greenland fans, like get merch made up, like really show up at the theater. Like,
I think it should just be
They're
Gerard
fucking
Butler
weird.
fans. Like we'll get T-shirts with all of his greatest movies.
just put him shirtless though.
All
bunch
of the
of-
Olympus Has Fallen, all those movies.
300
300. What was the submarine one?
submarine movie.
Submarine movie.
So his two big rom-coms are P.S. I Love You
That's it.
and The Ugly Truth.
Oh, okay. I didn't see either of those.
Anyway, Greenland 2. Excited for that to come out.
Yes.
Other news: Avatar game has been revealed.
Now, which Avatar are we talking about? Are we talking about Na'vi, or are we talking about The Last Airbender?
Navi.
So it's the less interesting one.
Yeah, so it was, I think, a it was a trailer at E3, as E3, I believe, is this week, that showed off.
Yeah, real quick.
this
Did you?
Avatar
I
game.
completely forgot that thing was even happening.
E3 sucks.
E3 has really
Falling off the cliff.
well, because a lot of the major companies don't
their
announce
own.
it anymore. Nintendo
They
does
just
their own
do
thing.
their own,
I
yeah.
don't think Sony's
Sony
doing
doesn't.
stuff. So
It's
it's really
just-
just Microsoft.
so it's Microsoft's
and
event.
Microsoft's like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but a distant third right now in at least popularity with behind Sony and Nintendo.
Oh, we've seen
So
the trailer
looking
here.
at the trailer here, it's a game.
Yeah.
and it looks pretty much the same like the original movie. So that's cool.
It's in 3D.
Oh, something just happened there.
The game is so bad. Oh, wow. The graphics
The game
look
is so
pretty
good.
cool.
It's so bad.
What kind of game is it? Or we don't even have that
I
information.
think it's an open world.
Open world, like
Like there's a world and it's open and you can run around in it.
Wow,
But,
wow,
like
wow.
Every open world, there are restrictions.
Yeah, you can't do a lot of things.
Yeah.
oh,
That's cool. And then the last piece of news here, somewhat game related, but more series related. Assassin's Creed, the television series, I believe,
On Netflix. That's
has a writer attached to it.
Yes.
So
that's cool. I
let's
guess.
talk about Assassin's Creed real quick. Great game, 1 and 2, and then the 50,000 spin-offs of 2. And then it hit, took a dive bomb. It tanked.
I mean, it became
Story
like
got
Madden.
way too complicated.
And it
Well,
came
and
back.
they just kept coming out with new games every year
Yep.
that were just clones of
Yeah,
themselves.
they were following
Madden.
the Madden formula,
franchise.
which, by the way, completely off topic here. Madden 2022
Oh,
is
God.
going to
Don't-
have two
Two goats.
goats.
two cover athletes.
It's
So
gonna
it's gonna
be-
be Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Duh.
No, it's going to be Tom Brady in a Patriots uniform and Tom Brady in a Buccaneers.
That, that would be.
I
cool.
think I just barfed. And I'm a
when
Patriots
Tom
fan.
Brady was on he's only been on it once.
I think so.
But didn't he have like one of his worst seasons then?
He went to the Super Bowl.
That's pretty.
But
bad
they
for
lost,
him.
right?
They lost to the
So that was
One of his worst seasons.
and he
It's
won
true.
MVP. He won MVP that year.
Oh, was it
Uh,
the undefeated? No, it wasn't.
But how do we
27.
feel about Assassin's Creed still trying to make content?
Well, I mean, it
Especially
came
after
back.
the Michael Fassbender movie.
Well, I think Netflix. I think the bigger story here is Netflix investing in a lot of video game television adaptations. They did The Witcher. They're doing this show. They're doing the article talks about that they're doing a Resident Evil TV series. So it seems like they're really investing in some video game adaptations and putting a lot of money behind these series as well.
Yeah.
It's like they found their niche.
Well,
They
Netflix goes through this every few years where they try a new thing. Like, if you remember a few years ago, there was like a summer where they really invested in a bunch of rom-coms. And there was last summer they invested in a lot of like reality TV show, like reality Netflix reality shows. And, sometimes it's cooking, this and that. So I think they, as years and seasons and whatever go on, they definitely try to invest in a lot of similar programming and then kind of spam you with it and hope like
It sticks.
it's gonna
It
stick. Because like
catches on.
the Jupiter's Legacy, right? Their deal with Miller World. That was like a huge investment in like an IP. They wanted to get into the superhero IP. They thought this is something that could do really well. They put a lot of money into Jupiter's Legacy, and then they just let the cast out of their agreement. So that show is effectively
dead.
done.
Yeah. But they're going to
They pulled the
continue it,
plug
though,
quick.
with some kind of spin-offs and one-offs.
Yeah, there's another show that they're doing within the universe, which is about the criminals, which I think is going to be animated. That they're doing.
Is that
So we'll
is,
see.
is that Saturn's Fate?
What's also going to be with Netflix? This it's not on our news, but heard this today. So Gundam Hathaway, the new animated Gundam film, is actually going to be released July 1st.
Yep.
And it's going to be released on Netflix. And Netflix is also getting, I think, 4 other Gundam movies, like older ones, including Char's
Return or something?
Char Strikes Back. That's what I'm going to call it.
Nice. That's not what it's
Anyway, this podcast is about to become rebranded as a Gundam podcast. That's Attack on Titan.
I know, but it applies to everything.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, that's true. But
Boom, baby.
Attack on Titan is basically human Gundams.
10 times the best.
That is everything.
Wow, we got through
We
it.
did it all. We did it, guys.
In about 10 minutes, too, just like we predicted.
Was it really 10 minutes?
No.
No, it
How
was
long has it been?
probably an hour.
Oh, Ravi, if you do this,
Wow.
we get under 45. Quick.
Oh, okay, here we go. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. As always, you can find us on Twitter at Was It Good, on Instagram at Was It Good BTM. We live stream these podcasts every Monday and Friday on youtube.com/wasitgood. Our website is wasitgood.info. Newsletter is coming shortly. Next pod is going to be at some point, but again, check on Twitter and you'll find out when and where and on what.
Actually announce when we're abroad.
Nope.
Never. I
do
don't think I've ever done that once.
dear. Well, we will do that this time.
Because I've been told to. Goodbye.